Alright everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to rewire your lawn or garden tractor using a starter switch instead of a push button and a toggle switch. Like I know is very common to do that, but some people like having the starter switch instead. So basically, I ran the starter switch through my DVOM or my multimeter and found these positions, these two terminals. These are basically the same, except you don't use that terminal over there. You use these two terminals. Those are for your starter, so your starter solenoid, and these two terminals right here run your ignition coil on-off. So basically, just to make things easy for myself and for you, my red wires are for my starter solenoid or my charger system, and the green wires are for my kill switch. So basically, one of these red wires runs to my positive terminal on my solenoid. Actually, my solenoid looks more like this. I have a more early style, so it's it looks different. I have terminals right here, and then the two power terminals are right over there. Or these are my two big feeds anyway. So like I said, these are my two big ones, and then these are the other two. You can do this system with both of these solenoids. Basically, your battery goes to this one, or either one, and your starter goes to this one. As long as they're not on the same one, you should be fine. This one, starter, battery, starter, doesn't matter. The same with this. It can be ground, power, ground. It really doesn't matter. So basically, I have one red wire running to this, and then the other red wire runs to 12 volts, which I have on one of my posts that goes right to my battery. Can't have it on the one that goes to the starter, it has to go to the battery, because otherwise you won't get 12 volts. So it goes, to make things a little bit simpler, it goes from here to here, and then from here to my battery. And then for my kill switch, this goes to my ignition coil, which is right, this little green wire goes to my ignition coil, little black wire that comes out of your ignition module. Well, from my ignition module to this, and then from this to a ground. I have that ground on the same ground that I have my solenoid ground on, which is right here. This is my ground post. That's my power post. That power post is the same one that that goes to this. That's my power post. So that's the one that went from here to here, and then from here to power. So that's the only, besides this being your kill switch, this is your solenoid power. The only other thing you have to hook up is this right here. This is the diode for your starter. Generally you'll have a little wire. See, it's this little red one right there. And it comes out of your, out from underneath your flywheel. That's your stator. Basically charges your battery when your engine is on. This needs to be hooked up. If you don't have this hooked up, you'll start this thing like 10 times and it won't start because your battery will be dead. And you also need to have this. This is a diode. Your wiring system, unless you ripped all your wires out, will have one of these in it. It's basically just a one-way check valve for electricity, because electricity can't go back inside this from the battery, because this runs right to the battery. If you run electricity back inside this, it'll fry your stator. So you need this diode right here. It goes up here to my battery, 12 volts. And that just charges my battery. But like I said, this has to be going out but not in. And if you don't have this, like I said, you're gonna fry your stator. So I just have this. This is just a crimp connector, because this is an aftermarket diode. So this just goes right to here, and I actually just hooked it up to my battery post on my solenoid, which is actually it's actually crimped into the same connector as the one that's from on my ignition switch, because as long as this one goes to the battery, this terminal goes to the battery, then I can hook up my stator to this and my ignition switch. So you can see right here, if I can get it, I have my power that goes from the battery, and then down there I have two wires coming out of that little connector. One goes to my ignition switch to turn on the solenoid, and the other goes to my stator. So like I said, all these green wires are for my kill switch, and this green wire goes to the ground. This green wire goes to my coil, and these two wires, one goes to power, one goes to my solenoid, and then this other red wire that goes to my my 12 volts. So the other thing I want to mention is these terminals. If you have one like this, one is ground, one is power. I think I already said that. It doesn't really matter if you screw those up. Just like it doesn't matter if this one's your battery, or this one's your battery, or this one's your starter, and this one's your starter. Doesn't matter actually if you mess any of these up, as long as they're in the right position. Like as long as my red wires are in the same position as your wires, it would go where those are, and the green wires are in the same. Like this wire could be right here, and this wire could be right here. This wire could be right here, and this wire could be right here. It really doesn't matter, because all it's doing is completing a circuit or breaking a circuit. Like these two actually break a circuit because it ungrounds your ignition coil, which turns your engine on. So anyway, that's just about it. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll be happy to answer any, because I know this wiring system pretty well now. I've done this quite a few times, and you can see it works just fine. So I'm trying to get my engine running. It's not running properly right now, but just to show you that it kills it. Alright, so that does work. Yeah, I do recommend using color-coded wires just because it makes it a lot simpler. Also using dielectric grease on your fittings, because it'll prevent corrosion stuff. And if you're unsure where your diode is, I would just replace it. It's only a few dollars at Radio Shack. It's always a good idea to have those replaced so it actually charges your battery. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you have any questions, just comment. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.